So it's also very important to know about the basics of file structure of an Android application. So in this lecture, some important files and folders and their significance we'll go over so that you can easily understand the Android Studio work environment. So Android Studio is the official Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, for Android app development. Android Studio provides the fastest possible turnaround on your coding and running workflow. Now, throughout the course, we will be using Android Studio mostly as an Android emulator. So this Android emulator simulates Android devices on your computer so that you can test your applications on a variety of devices and Android API levels without needing to have, several physical devices scattered across your desk. My desk gets smaller and smaller every day. No, I won't show you a picture of it. So the emulator provides almost all of the capabilities of a real Android device. So it's definitely worth a look. However, we need to install it first. So I want you to find your favorite browser, search for Android Studio, and the first website is indeed the official website of Android Studio. So just click on it, scroll down a little bit, and quickly browse for the features. And okay, so here you see the layout editor. So this enables you to quickly build layouts by dragging UI elements into a visual design editor instead of writing layout XML by hand. Android Studio also includes an APK analyzer, and this provides immediate insight into the composition of an APK after the build process completes. Using the APK analyzer can reduce the time while debugging issues with DEX files and resources within an app. It also will help you reduce an APK size. Now, like I said before, it's thanks to the emulator feature that you can simulate incoming phone calls and text messages, specify the location of the device, simulate hardware sensors, access the Google Play Store, and, just about anything you can think of. Android Studio also has a flexible build system and real-time profilers. Now scroll down a little bit more, and here are the Android Studio download files. So you can download it here depending on your operating system. And here you can download the package suitable for your particular operating system. So these are the system requirements to use Android Studio. So once you've read it through a little bit, let's go ahead and download. And of course, before downloading, we'll agree to terms and conditions. Click on download and save the file. Okay. So now we just wait a little bit. And it is now downloaded, so we can click on the downloaded disk file. And I'll move it to the application folder. And this is good. So installation is now complete. Okay, so go ahead and open Android Studio. And there's a couple of steps that we need to step through to get set up. Next. I'll choose the standard type. Next. So I do like dark theme. And next. These are the installation settings, so let's review them. And it all looks good to me, so let's go ahead and click Finish. So now it's downloading the components. And you might need to allow a little time for the installation. All right, so now I've got to allow some extensions from the security preferences. Use password or fingerprint and allow from here. Now we can lock the changes. Okay, so installation is complete. Let's go ahead and open it. Okay, let's create a new project. There are project templates for phones, tablets, Wear OS, TV, automotive. You can choose one of them depending on the platform that you want to use. And I'm just going to select a basic activity template for phones. Click Next. And let's name the application that we're going to develop. So this is a package name and default save location. You can choose Java or Kotlin as a programming language. So like I said before, we can use Android 8 Oreo, Android 9 Pie, or Android 10. So what I'm going to do is select Android 9 and finish. Yeah, we can go ahead and skip the tips for now. All right, so now on the left-hand side, there is the file structure of the application. So I'll explain the most important ones briefly. First, we'll have a look at the main folders. Okay, so you see how they are manifests, Java, Res, and Gradle scripts. So here, AndroidManifest.xml file. So let me explain that every project in Android includes a manifest file stored in the root directory of its project hierarchy. The manifest file is an important part of our app because it defines the structure and metadata of our application, its components, and its requirements. This file includes nodes for each of the activities, services, content providers, and broadcast receiver that makes the applications, and while using intent filters and permissions, determines how they coordinate with each other and other applications. So this is what makes it all possible. And we arrive at the Java folder. The Java folder contains the Java source code files. These files are used as a controller for a controlled UI or layout file. It gets the data from the layout file, and after processing, that data output will be shown in the UI layout. So it works on the back end of an Android application, basically. The next one is a drawable file under the Res folder. A drawable folder contains resource type files that can be drawn. Drawables may take a variety of files like bitmap, PNG, JPEG, 9-patch, vector, XML, shape, layers, slates, levels, and scale. So why don't we have a look at the layout? A layout defines the visual structure for a user interface, such as the UI for an Android application. This folder stores layout files that are written in the language XML. You can always add additional layout objects or widgets as child elements to gradually build a view hierarchy that defines your layout file. Now, another folder is bitmap, and it contains the image asset file that can be used in Android Studio applications. You can generate the following icon types, like launcher icons, action bar, and tab icons, and notification icons. A navigation graph is a resource file that contains all of your destinations and actions. The graph represents all of your app's navigation paths. Now here's the colors.xml file, so it contains color resources of Android applications. Different color values are identified by a unique name that can be used in the Android application program. And then finally, we come upon the build.gradle module app file, and this defines the module-specific build configurations. And here you can add dependencies that you need in your Android application.